Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sidika Purity. This is where we learn Kenya Sign Language, and we shall be doing more videos on interviews, vlogs, African culture, talking. Yeah, so today I am handling a very different topic and I have a visitor, as you can see. Welcome to my channel.
Thank you very much.
So please introduce yourself, tell us who you are.
My name is Isaac William Navi. Isaac Amunavi at Facebook. Instagram also Isaac Amunavi together with Twitter, so you can also follow me there, like, share, and all will be well.
Yeah, karibu sana, usiogope, uko nyumbani.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Yeah, he's going to share with us a topic on pleasure and desires, and I want him to do a bit of introduction about pleasure and desires.
Okay. Desire and pleasure. So maybe the one who you are listening to me, you may be asking, why desire, why pleasure? And is there any correlation between desire and pleasure? And I believe during this interview I'm going to dwell so much on pleasure, but we are going to see that correlation.
How it relates.
Yeah. So, and one of the things that maybe really inspired me or to dwell in such a topic, desire and pleasure, is because I found it very critical. Because most of us respond to what we desire or pleasure.
What we desire.
What we desire. So, like for instance, what do you desire? And you know, people have many
desires, different. Yeah.
Because one may desire to be a doctor, one may desire, it can be in a form of ambition. But the moment you begin to desire, it trickles down to what you enjoy most doing. And I think I'm going to just give a brief introduction, a brief meaning of what desire is. Then we see the correlation between desire and pleasure. So according to what to a study which I did in a Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, it says to desire is to be in a particular state of mind, is a state of mind familiar to everyone who has ever wanted to drink water, that's for example, or desire to know what has happened to an old friend, but its familiarity does not make it easy to give a theory of desire. So you find that there are a lot of things. So you can't end up thinking that that is the real instance of desire. So another thing you can learn about desire, another theory about desire, this another study say there is a simple conservative theory of desire according to which having a desire is a matter of disposition, act to act. According to another theory, it also says, disposition to act or only essential feature of desires, the tendency of a person has to feel certain ways or to think certain ways when she has a desire or are interesting but inessential tendencies. If Nora desires, for example, if Nora is desiring for tea, this is because she's disposed to get herself some tea. That's it. Alafu, and her disposition to feel good about or to think positively getting the tea or to keep having her thoughts turn towards getting tea are merely associated effect of her desire. So that's just in briefly of what you can say desire.
And how does it relate itself with the pleasure.
Okay. Let me get there. So when you're talking about desire and pleasure, so you find the first thing that you have to understand that to desire is to be in a particular state of mind. To be in a particular state of mind. Then desiring is a state of mind that is commonly associated with a number of different effects. A person with a desire tend to act in a certain ways, feel a certain ways, and think in a certain ways. So from there, you find pleasure as a desired mental state. So from the
desire, we get pleasure.
We get a pleasure. So you say desire is a pleasure. So pleasure is a result of a desire mental states. As a result of somebody thinking, you may desire. So from after desiring something, you getting that cup of tea is a result of your mental of one thing that you desired.
Yeah.
So it now becomes into actualization. So that is what desire. So if you read from Sidgwick, he also remind us that men have sacrificed all enjoyment of life, even life itself, to obtain posthumous fame. And somebody will do anything in this life, will deny himself anything, if it's to wake up, even if it's at 3 a.m. to go out for exercise, so that he may gain a certain attention, so that he may gain something.
Yeah.
Also, another thing we learn from Sidgwick is that from an illusory belief that they would be somehow capable of deriving pleasure from it, but from direct desire of the future, admiration of others, like we see, and the preference of it to their own pleasure. That's it. Also, if you
desire, after desiring, you have pleasure from what you desire to do.
Yeah.
Like me, I can desire to have good. I desire to have good health, wealth, comfort, good relationship, success. So after I desire, I have the success. Then in the success, I'll get the pleasure that I needed.
So that's the correlation. So desire is more of a mental. It's something that is built in your mind, but pleasure comes as a result, of your mental state. Of your mental. Now it becomes into a reality.
Into a reality.
So pleasure. So you cannot have a pleasure without desire. So desire has to come first, then pleasure.
True.
Yeah.
So after that, we have gotten to know the meaning of desire and pleasure and how they relate with each other. So we want to understand the pleasures, the principles of pleasure.
Pleasure, before we begin with that subject, before the principle of pleasure, pleasure is an entity. So is as a result of something that you have desired. And if you may allow me to use my Bible, there's something that it says very fundamentally, and I would like us to understand. It will help us to understand how we humans respond to pleasure. And one thing that I want to tell you before we read that is that pleasure is greater than pain.
Get that? Pleasure is greater than pain.
Pleasure is greater
than pain.
How? Because we as humans, we tend to respond more to something that gratifies us more than something that hurt us. Take an example. If somebody is a drunkard,
Yeah. True.
or somebody does cigar, no matter how much you may tell to describe to that person the effects of
alcohol,
cigarettes, that person will take that thing because he prefers
to have
pleasure than the pain.
True.
It doesn't matter if you're going to the extent of that. Do you know that you will die tomorrow? That person will know. He will know psychologically. Because principle, that's the first principle. Pleasure is greater than pain.
Than pain.
Yeah. That's the first thing you have to understand. When you are dealing with pleasure, pleasure is always greater than pain. Somebody will know that he's doing something wrong, but because of that principle, he will go for pleasure and disregard the pain. Yes, he knows.
He knows that
the consequences.
Yeah.
He already knows. So that's the first thing. I don't know if